Remove your turkey from the packaging and make sure you rinse it well. Any turkey's fine, and Hellman's mayonnaise or any mayonnaise, I rinse it. I remove the gizzards out of the inside of it. Be sure not to cook it with it. Then I take the mayonnaise and I put it in a bowl just so I'm not reaching into the whole container because I don't need the whole container. We're going to use that later. Now I'm taking a zero carb bread from Aldi's with the multi-seeds, but you can use any kind of bread you want, and I'm cutting it into cubes and I'm putting it into this bowl there that's in front of me. I am so sorry that I ended up putting that bowl in front of me so you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just cutting the bread into cubes. Best you can, however you do it. You can pull it apart with your hands if you want to. It really doesn't matter because it's all going to get mixed up in a little bit with all the other stuff I'm going to add to it. So I'm just continuing to cut up the bread. Again, this is the Aldi's multi-seed zero carb bread. I'm putting a little bit of Redmond salt on the bread. I'm putting it all over my turkey. You see me turn it over and put some more on the turkey. And then I take some pecans. Of course, I washed my hands, but I edited it so you don't see that part. I'm chopping up the pecans really, really well. I'm going to throw that into the pan that's behind me on the stove, which I have already cooking with some sausage. It is the Aldi's pork sausage. Comes in that little, you can use whatever sausage you want, but it's just zero carb pork sausage. I'm throwing it in with the bread that I have there in that bowl. And I'm going to cut up some apples, and then I'm also going to, take the cores and the seeds and all that out and then throw it into the pan with the sausage behind me so that it can start to kind of cook up a little bit and soften up so they're not just hard pieces of apple. And then the apple itself can give flavor to the sausage. So I'm just stirring it around. Sometimes you see some of my familiars in the picture coming to pay me some company. Now I'm putting in the bread with the pecans, and I have about a cup of the chicken bone broth or chicken broth, whatever you want to use, just some kind of broth. Usually chicken broth is what's called for if you make stuffing that you buy in a bag, like from Petridge Farm. So I'm just mixing it in and getting it incorporated with the bread, pecans and apples also. And I'm putting a little bit of seasoning. You can use whatever seasoning of choice. I believe I was probably putting a little sage in there. And I'm just going to continue to just mix it up. Now I'm putting butter into it. I took about 4 or 5 tablespoons of butter I'm adding to it just to kind of give it some moisture aside from the broth that's in there. And you see me putting more salt all over my turkey. I'm pulling up the wings, and now I'm putting on the magical mayonnaise. This is what's going to ensure that your turkey comes out with that beautiful brown color, but you're not going to have to baste it continually. So mixing up the stuffing some more, taking it off the stove, and putting it back into that little bowl that I was using because I'm going to get ready to stuff it inside my turkey. Now, some people call it dressing, other people call it stuffing. Depends on what part of the country, I think, or the world that you're in. But because I'm stuffing it in the turkey, I'm calling it stuffing. When I have dressing, I'll usually just put it into a little dish, whatever's left over that doesn't fit in the turkey, and I'll bake it separately. But that is always drier than the stuff you get inside the turkey, and I prefer the stuff inside the turkey. And it's just myself and my mom, so I'm really not looking to have any extras and make anything other than what you see me making here. So what I just poured in there is some Lakanto Classic Sweetener. I'm just sweetening it up a little bit. It actually looks like I'm pouring more in there than I think I actually did. I maybe used about 1/4 cup of sweetener. Just kind of depends on you, and if you don't like your dressing or stuffing sweet, then you can leave that out. It's not a necessity. I just at the last minute decided I wanted to put it in there, and it was delicious. I've never actually used that kind of a sweetener before in any of my stuffing, even when I was non-keto or non-carnivore, but I just decided to put it in there. So here I am stuffing the turkey inside the regular cavity, for which it's actually the back end, if you know what I mean, if you've ever stuffed a turkey. And if not, that's probably why you're watching this video. Then after I stuff that side of the turkey and get it all in there as best I can, I go to the other side of the turkey and I start to stuff the neck cavity, because there's quite a bit of room in there and I have quite a bit of stuffing left. So I'm stuffing it all as best I can, as much as I can, into the neck cavity, and then I'm going to pull that little piece of flap of fat from the neck back on over it, laying it down in the pan. And then I'm going to put it in my oven at the recommended, I believe it's 325 degrees, and you cook it depending on, the package instructions on your turkey. If it's stuffed, or you can just cook it without the stuffing and it won't take as long. Here, what I'm doing, it's about more than 3/4 of the way cooked, and I'm putting tin foil over it to protect it, and here I am taking it out. The magic of video. It's done. And there you have it. A very nice, very juicy, and not dried out stuffed turkey for your Thanksgiving dinner. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that I sped it up. I tried to make it as fast as possible. And look at the stuffing. It's just so moist. I'm taking a bite of it, but it came out delicious. If you want to use a meat thermometer for a bird, I am showing you it's done when it's 180 degrees, and this is kind of clocking at about 187. If you make this recipe, I would love to know how it came out. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, please click the subscribe button down below, and be sure to ring the bell so you can be notified of all new videos as I put them out to you, as well as if I go live.